So this is a very special vlog since I had a few issues with the planning script in Java. I'll probably finish the Java version as well, but I'll try to focus on the Unity one right now. But I had a few issues on the Java version, and sorry about that. And there was a problem with when I planted it. I didn't know how to keep values on the specific game object that I created. Since I create every single one as a new line, I can't do the same thing as I'm doing right here, which I'll show you in a few seconds. So on this here, I'm keeping everything on the same script since I had a lot of issues when I kept them differently. So I just do it like this, since instantiating things is harder if otherwise. So I instantiate this as a new game object, and I add it to a game object array, and here it runs through the count of the SP renderer, and it gets the current I of it. So say there are 10 of these, and then there's 0, so up to 9. But so it checks if this place 0 is done, and if there's a new day, it runs through it, and if not, if there isn't any, then obviously nothing happens. But then it just checks if the current sprite dot count, which is the array. I'll show you here. Where is it? Here, which is an integer list that keeps track of the sprite, the current sprite that's used for that renders it, and the sprites are here. Yeah, the sprites are these sprites. So I'm just gonna show you, and it's these sprites. So basic 1, basic 2, basic 3, basic 4. So the basic plants, and then it checks if it's the first day, then it's this one. Obviously, I'm gonna probably put this to 0, 2, 3. Oh shit! Actually, put that up. Since I'm having a few issues now, but I think that this works good so far. As you can see here, if it goes to equal 6, so if it pluses itself onto 6, then it will destroy the planted sprite, and in its place it will put the dropped sprite, which looks like this so far. I will change it later, since that's a pretty bad drop sprite, but it'll change depending on the seed it drops. So I'll check if the sprite, if this is equal to S5, then it'll drop the regular one, and then if it's the fire 5, the last fire sprite, then it'll drop a fire seed. But the most important thing, it'll destroy itself at the correct position, and on that position it will add a drop item here into the array, and instantiate it at the SPI transform position, so the position of the current sprite selected, and with no rotation or anything, and as a game object, so I can interact with it and stuff. And as I said, it will destroy it, and also every time it leaves this one, it will add +1 to the current sprite array, and since it's more than 6 and stuff, it will destroy itself. So this value will not really matter anymore, and since you plant new every time it will sort of fix itself. I'm gonna work on replanting since I'm having a few issues with replanting right now, but and also I've done a very temporary thing at the here, so the day timer is disabled, so you can just go to the next day for testing purposes right now. Here also I have a basic plain sort of out of bounds checker, which if you see here goes outside and it will just restart the scene as of now. And also I try to make a dynamic camera because I think it looks way better than just having the camera only follow the character directly. It looks kind of static weird. It looks like the background is moving instead of the character, so I just made it a bit better like that. Okay. So here I have basically just a very basic animator controller, which sets if it's running as true, which it will be if everything, if I'm moving in any direction, the running animation will start, which I have here. So it says here if is running is true, then it will move from idle to run animation, and I have removed the exit time and removed transition duration since that made some issues before. And from player run animation, it will go back to the idle animation if run is false. And this is what turns it on. So if it's 0, then it'll go false. And if that's more or less than 0, then it will obviously go there. And then I have a direction here, which checks and sees. I'm just gonna see here. Where is it? Here, flip sprite. So if previous direction is not equals the direction. So if previous direction is 0 and I press right, and it'll go to the right, and the direction is now 1, this will run, and the animator will rotate the sprite equals to 180, and then it'll put the previous direction equals the current direction to not run this again, and so you have a new previous direction. So next time you press left and the direction turns to 0, this will run again, and this is very instant, and it's a pretty easy way to just keep everything the same. Every the hitboxes and everything's still the same. So here you have the movement. The movement is a very, very, very simple script. Not sure if I could do it better right now, but I don't think I need to. This is just a target velocity. I looked at a few scripts online, and I found that this one worked the best for what I was doing. So basically, you create a new vector of the current horizontal and vertical axes pressed. So and then you times that, and then you get the rigid body and you add the velocity to it of the target velocity times player speed. I'm not sure if I need to do anything else to fix this, like times dot delta time, so you don't move quicker if you're having issues, but I'm pretty sure that having it in fixed update is working so far. And also I have a few timers. I've basically done them the same way as I done them otherwise, but now I just set game object active instead for like error messages. So let's see, just let it load. So let's go sleep. Oh shit, seeds. Yeah, you can plant now, and then it'll time out, and then it'll remove. So I'm not sure if it's on for too long or whatever, but it's pretty decent right now. So that's why how this works. And also I have the .text update, and I'm using TMP or TextMesh Pro, since TextMesh Pro is just looks way better and is way more changeable. I know I'm not supposed to have all these public, but I just have them public so far so I can change them and stuff in the editor, but they will become private later. Yeah, and here is the vector offset for I think I have a vector offset currently for the player. Here's the movement script for the camera. I used a Brackeys video for the base since I tried to make my own. It ended up almost like this, but it didn't have the desired effect that I wanted it didn't have the smoothness, so I just looked up how to do the smoothness, and it was very, very easy to just add this function or this variable, and it basically fixed the entire script. So that was a very easy fix. Yeah, I have a sprite right here, which as you can see here, I used to use for adding them and just grabbing them directly from the player, but since they're not a static object anymore, it doesn't just work like that. So this one is actually not even useful right now, but that's fine. I'm definitely gonna remove this later if I can't get it easier, because this looks kind of bad to just have sprites open like this. But I think that it works fine to just have it there for now. Not really doing anything with it. So also, yeah, this is the day system is basically takes the current day, which is equals to day every update second. So if day updates to 2, then current day also updates to 2, and then it checks if current day is not equal to previous day, then it will set previous day equals to current day, and it will say it will add 2 seeds to the stored seeds, or it will load a new sprite for the seed that you planted. And this also works for every individual seed, so this is not some issue with this is not some oh shit, I accidentally did the space. Shit, okay. Maybe now. Yeah, there we go. So let's say I get this and I plant this one there, and then I sleep and I plant a new one there, and I sleep, I plant a new one there, sleep, plant a new one there, and then I'll sleep a few days. As you can see, they drop when you planted them, they will drop in the correct sort of direction, and also they will once you've planted them, they will move down like that. So they do work to stack, but I'm doing it in a very bad way right now. But since I don't really know how to do it, like create every single I know that you can create an empty game object and just put them there, and then have all the things there and just change the sprite instead, which is probably the one the thing I will do, just having it load in every game object and then it will just make it as a drop when it's like that. But basically right now removing this game object and adding a new one makes it so much easier to just like create new drops basically with their own tag, since the basic one it's not tagged right now, and the drop it has a tag, so I should be able to interact with it, but right now I'm not able to interact with it. It sort of works, but it doesn't destroy the dropped object, since I'm not fucking sure how to do that. But that's basically the issues I have right now, but they'll be pretty easy to fix. There we go. But as you can see here, the bruh, it does interact with it, so there's not really a thing like that. But it's fine. It's fine. I'll fix the interaction a bit later. So, but I guess thank you so much for watching. Also, I got a question on my previous video on how you can get to the Discord. But I'm sorry, the Discord are only for Patreons and donors on Kickstarter. The only exception is one of my Kickstarter donors had a few friends that wanted to join, and since he donated the largest reward and funded my entire project, he could invite a few friends. But that's basically it for that. But I will have a link to the Kickstarter and the Patreon, so if you want to be my Patreon, that would be help me so much. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you have any ideas or something, you could write them in the chat, and or if you're on the Discord, then you could write them on the Discord. And also, if you're a part of the beta testers phase in the Discord, then I will send you a link where you can download this compiled project of this game right now, which is probably the latest version that I have right now. So you can try and see if you can find glitches, bugs, problems, or just if you think that this is a good base to start on, or if I should just continue on working with the Java edition, which I don't have the newest version out, but I have a pretty new version out on itch.io and a newer version out on GitHub. So if you're you can check the GitHub out on the Java edition version on there. You can download it, and I think I have compiled it. Otherwise, you can just use the IntelliJ IDE and compile your own version of the code. So but yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next devlog. Bye.